In this video tutorial, I'm showing you how I draft a skirt block using the Armstrong pattern drafting method within Valentina. I'm using Valentina, a free open-source pattern-making software. You can download it too, using the link in the video description below. I'm also pointing out that you can adapt these steps for use in Seamly2D, although some features specific to Valentina might not be available there. I start by creating a new pattern in Valentina and name my pattern piece. I use a measurement file from tape, with all the necessary body measurements for this pattern, corresponding to a US size 10 or European M or 40 size. Since I'm following the Armstrong method, all measurements are in inches, but you can easily convert them to centimeters within tape. I also add the skirt length, 22 inches in this case, to the variables table. I draw the first line, representing the skirt's length and side seam line. To get a better view, I zoom out. My next reference point is the center front hip depth. From point A to the left, I mark the back hip arc, adding ½ inch. I square out to the left from points A, A1, and A2 and I connect points with lines. The line from A3 to A5 is the center back line. On this line, I mark the center back hip depth. To the right of point A, I mark the front hip arc, adding ½ inch, and connect the points again. From A3 to the right, I mark the back waist arc, adding ¼ inch, and 2 inches for dart intake. I mark the placement for the first 1-inch dart. Then a space of 1¼ inches, followed by the second 1-inch dart. For the front pattern, from point A7, I mark the front waist arc plus 1/4 inch, and another inch for dart intake, marking the dart placements similarly. I mark the placement for the first dart of 5/8 inch, then a space of 1 1/4 inches, followed by the second 5/8 inch dart. I adjust the side seams of the skirt at points A10 and A15 by 9/16 inch, as per my another basic skirt draft. This value has not been indicated in the Armstrong's method. I draw the side seam curves, ensuring they are the same length. Next, I draft the waistline curves, making sure to have 90-degree angles at the corners. On the back piece, I mark the center of each dart intake and square down by 5½ inches to draw the dart legs. I mark the darts on the waist curve using Valentina's point intersect curve and axis tool. As you can see, I can manually approximate the position of the point on the curve, but to do it correctly, I need to ensure that the angle of the dart leg is exactly the same. That's why I use the angle of lines function. Now, the line angles are exactly the same. I do the same to the other dart's legs. I connect the dart point to the new point on the waist curve. One line is now shorter than the other, so I need to true the darts by lengthening the shorter leg. I change the color of this corrected line to see it better. I adjust the darts and the waist curve as needed. Now, the back piece is ready. For the front piece, I repeat these steps. I mark the center of each dart intake and square down by 3.5 inches to draw the dart legs. I adjust the darts and the waist curve. I add some points to groups of visibility to make them invisible, so I don't get confused. I prepare my patterns for transfer to Details mode, selecting objects clockwise, and using the Shift key if needed to reverse a curve's direction. In Details mode, I assigned names to the patterns and add seam allowances, grain lines, and notches. Thank you for following along.